Hey everyone, it's Chad bringing you today's word of victory. As I was thinking about this, I just wanted to share one of my favorite scriptures. It's something that really helped me in my early days of my walk. So many times as young believers, we get saved, we come to the cross, and we have that moment of conversion, and church service is over, it ends that day, or whatever the scenario was, and you go home and you're like, now what do I do? And for me, I call myself a casual believer. I was raised in church, I was raised in and out of church. I gave my heart to the Lord as a very young person at 10. And then when I turned and walked away a few years later, I always questioned whether I really believed it or not. So I came back to the Lord as a 20-year-old, not really having full foundation in everything that I felt like I should have been doing. And in the meantime, I had picked up so many sins in my life that attached themselves to me by my habits. And so when I gave my heart to the Lord, I had to allow God to really break these things off of me. So one of my favorite verses, and something that really ministered to me, is Romans chapter 6, verses 17 and 18. And it reads, "Thank God, once you were slaves of sin, but now you wholeheartedly obey this teaching we have given you. Now you are free from your slavery to sin, and you have become slaves to righteous living." And for me, that just meant so much, because I realized in my 20 years of playing Christian, just being honest, I had allowed so many sins to become part of my everyday life. And so after I gave my heart to the Lord at 20, I had to start really reevaluating things in my life. And God began to chip away things that I was calling normal that was actually sin. Um, Everything from my attitude, you know, I had problems with everything from pornography to being disrespectful at work, and lazy at work at times. And these were all sins and things that are not of God. And He was calling me to something better than that. So in reading that and understanding that I was a slave to these things, man, having the freedom of understanding that now God was calling me to a place of being bound to His righteous living, His call to righteous living. I needed to change a lot of things in my life, and through His Word and through prayer, God began to, like I said, chip these things away. But He allowed me to grow and mature. He allowed me to really have a hunger for His Word, for a prayer life. I began to really seek godly counsel and wisdom from people around me at the time, and that's how He developed me into the man that I am today. And I don't say that boastfully, but I say that because I know the work God has done in me. I'm a better man today, having lived my life for Christ the way I have over the last 23 years. And I'm grateful for every time God spoke to me through His Word. And so if you're struggling with something, if maybe you've got something that constantly hangs you up, realize the Word of God is telling you, giving you instructions on how you're bound to that and how you can break free of that. I love you guys. I encourage you to read over Romans. It's a fantastic book of the Bible, but specifically Romans chapter 6. And then let's have a conversation about that the next time we see each other, or give me a call. Love to talk to you all about it. God bless you. I love you. Have a great evening.